On today's That Park Place Daily Countdown, our favorite Mandalorian actress continues in what we're starting to call the Carano files. Rachel Zegler makes a Jennifer Lawrence-level claim about Hunger Games. Magic Kingdom takes steps to make Tiana's Bayou Adventure look smaller. Walt Disney World makes a last-ditch attempt to move Galactic Star Cruiser merch before people forget entirely. And Hasbro finally gets around to making Phantom Menace merch. All that on today's That Park Place. Good morning, everyone. Houston, we have a daily news countdown. I am Jonas J. Campbell, and with me in mission control, as you can see from all the glowing lights and probably clickety-clackety buttons, there's Vash Guy. Vash, how's it going in Houston?
Going pretty good there, Jonas. Going pretty good where we are. I will say, the clickety-clacky is working. I think we're ready to launch.
Perfect. So let's get all of our departments to sound off on entertainment, streaming, video game, and theme park news for all the news that should be fun.
Number 1.
Hey, it's me, Jonas, with our first story. This one straight from Gina Carano. Gina Carano has been taking to Twitter to air out some clarifications in the wake of South Park Into the Panderverse. And this time she's reacting to a story out of Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, and many other places, stating that Casey Bloy from HBO used Twitter bots in order to boost figures and get into it with detractors on social media. In this post from Gina Carano, which is rather lengthy and is an excellent read, she goes in pretty hard against social media manipulation, which she appears to consider herself a victim of. I know that there's a lot of followers of this channel that believe the same. She talks about the fact that Bob Iger was about to buy Twitter and seemed to determine that it was a bunch of bots. In his book, he says that it would have been too lethal to have Twitter associated with the Disney name. Well, no, they would rather use it as their agent of chaos and operate within the shadows so that they don't have to take credit for what's being done on Twitter. She goes in to talk about how Twitter mobs and Twitter bot armies were used in order to denigrate people that they disagreed with and throw ugly slurs at them, and that Disney was fully aware of this and that Lucasfilm was fully aware of this. I will read this portion right here. This action of bot armies is actually a much bigger offense than people are realizing. How many lives were ruined because of Twitter bots canceling them? In defamation lawsuits, you need to have evidence of intent to do harm. Defamation lawsuits are very tricky, especially when you're going up against someone with endless amounts of cash. I would say sending in bot armies to go after people they don't agree with more than qualifies as intent to harm, and I believe a jury would agree. What do you think that means right there? I believe a jury would agree. So, are you enjoying the Carano files? I'll tell you what, it pairs great with a cup of coffee every morning. I don't know if anything will come of the nuclear bomb emails that some have indicated might be out there, indicating some of the dirty deeds done dirt cheap by Lucasfilm. Either way, we'll be covering it here on That Park Place. Are you excited? And are you following Gina Carano on Twitter? Let us know in the comments below.
Number 2.
Hello, this is John Trent, the founder and editor-in-chief at Abounding in the Comics, and today I got a story about Rachel Zegler claiming the Hunger Games was the first story to depict a female character that was anti-establishment and anti-government. In a pre-recorded promotional video for the upcoming The Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, Rachel Zegler said, "The Hunger Games kind of started that era of like Divergent and Shadowhunters. You know, it was like she was really Suzanne," speaking to the author Suzanne Collins, "was the first to write this young woman who was anti-establishment, anti-government, and really standing up for what's right in a really unconventional way without an era of sweetness. There was nothing cordial about her either. She was very rough around the edges, and it was amazing to read that." Ironically, Zegler's comments are similar to actress Jennifer Lawrence, who starred as Katniss Everdeen in the original The Hunger Games films. If you recall, Lawrence claimed in an interview with Viola Davis as part of Variety's Actors on Actors bit, "I remember when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie because it wouldn't work. We were told girls and boys can both identify with a male lead, but boys cannot identify with a female lead. And it just makes me so happy every single time I see a movie come out that just blows through every single one of those beliefs and proves that it is just a lie to keep certain people out of the movies." Lawrence would receive significant backlash for those comments and eventually apologize. She told The Hollywood Reporter, "That's certainly not what I meant to say at all. I know that I am not the only woman who has ever led an action film. What I meant to emphasize was how good it feels, and I meant that with Viola to blow past these old myths that you would hear around that kind of thing. But it was my blunder and it came out wrong. I had nerves talking to a living legend." For these comments about the Hunger Games that are eerily similar to what Jennifer Lawrence had to say, but given that it's Rachel Zegler, I doubt that will be the case, but we will be following the story here at Bounding into Comics.
Number 3.
Vash Sky here with our next story, this time from Walt Disney World News Today. Photos, fake trees installed at Tiana's Bayou Adventure in Magic Kingdom. You can see those photos here. This is very interesting because, well, as people probably know, a couple of months ago, they put up this large water tower that is completely out of scale, and now they're putting in these fake trees. But why? And this is the Imagineers' attempt to make the mountain back there look as small as possible. It's very, very interesting that they're going with this kind of reversed force perspective to try to minimize the scary factor and up the, I don't know, enchanted factor, I guess, so that they can hopefully inspire kids, obviously those meeting the height requirement, to actually ride this now princess-themed attraction. But I don't know about these trees here. They don't necessarily look all that convincing, at least right now. Let's wait and see when the leaves are actually added on and see how these things are. But I don't know about you guys, but is this making it look like the mountain is smaller than it appears? That's the intention by Walt Disney Imagineering. Let us know in the comments below if this is doing anything for this force perspective on this classic attraction.
Number 4.
Hello, this is Lorena Creole of the Lorena Creole YouTube channel, keeping it real when it comes to theme parks. And speaking of keeping it real, that merchandise from the now closed Galactic Star Cruiser, it's showing up over at Hollywood Studios. Coming to us from laughingplace.com, Walt Disney World's Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser may be closed, but guests visiting Disney's Hollywood Studios can still pick up Chandrilia Starline merchandise in a couple of locations. Now here they note that we headed into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge today and stopped by Black Spire Outfitters, where we found all kinds of merchandise from the now closed unique Star Wars experience. All kinds of costume apparel and accessories were available in this shop found in the marketplace area of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Additional Galactic Star Cruiser merchandise has also been spotted in Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities, and you can see the outfits that they have here that you could previously only purchase if you were taking a cruise on the Galactic Star Cruiser. And here's some more pictures of even more merchandise that's now showing up. And while you might expect to see some of that merchandise in the shops of Batuu, which would make sense, we noticed some more elsewhere in the park. Keystone Clothiers, located near the entrance to the park, also had some merchandise from the Galactic Star Cruiser. And here, guests could find even more apparel and accessories, including a captain's hat, as well as toys, patches, keychains, and more. However, we did notice that most of the Galactic Star Cruiser was nearly sold out upon leaving the park earlier today, so there may not be much stock left for long. So, are you planning on heading to the Walt Disney Resort anytime soon to pick up this merchandise? Let us know in the comments.
Number 5.
Hi everybody, Tommy Tables here with some exciting news for Star Wars toy collectors, including myself. The Phantom Menace Episode 1 is coming up on its 25th anniversary, and in order to celebrate, Hasbro, the company that has the license for Star Wars toys, is going to be releasing some, shall we say, long overdue figures in their Black Series. And those are Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala. These two figures feature Anakin and Padme when they were just kids, when they just met, and when they fell in love. A little bit awkward considering that Jake Lloyd was 9 at the time and Natalie Portman was 17, but we'll not go there. These new figures look really spot on, and Hasbro has recently perfected a technology, well, not perfected, but they use a technology which is a photoreal technology where they actually are able to print out the facial details on the figures that they've created. So you can see that this figure of Jake Lloyd here is pretty darn spot on, I have to say. And the same thing with Natalie Portman. This is her costume from the end of the movie when she was liberating Naboo from the evil Trade Federation. And you can see that the face, while being a little bit iffy, is still, you know who you are looking at. So I think fans are pretty excited for these things. I'm pretty excited. I've already put in my pre-orders for these. I think, All that to be said, The Phantom Menace has aged like fine wine in the last couple of years, especially in comparison to the sequels. And so having some prequel love, I think, is, well, very, very much appreciated by this Star Wars fan. But what about you? What are your thoughts? Are you going to be picking up these toys? Do you like The Phantom Menace? Do you think that they were better than the sequels? Leave your comments down below and let us know.
Well, Jonas, that was a tremendous video that you put together for us, containing some amazing contributors from all across this That Park Place extended network and family community. It's been really, really fun.
You know what? It is great to have this extended family community here. It's going to get complicated at the family reunions, though, when we start figuring out who is willing to sleep in another room with another person, you know, maybe feet to face right here because we're just so stacked up on top of each other. Oh, my. Well, it's been another great day here. Thank you for everyone who has stuck around this long in the video. You are the true fans. In fact, if you're a true fan, you might want to get in touch with us at the handles above. You know, if you got anything you want to talk about that's not related to the video, or if you want to comment on something that we have talked about here, you can do that in the comment section below, or check us out in all the links in the description. Of course, like this video. If you like this video, if you share it out, you would be our best friend. And if you really like what we're throwing down, subscribing would, oh, that would just be perfect. Until tomorrow, actually until the next video, stay tuned to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com for all the news that should be fun. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.